Hey Alex, great to be with you today. Thanks for joining us. Alex, tell us a bit about who you are and where you are at the moment.
Sure. Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a fourth year medical student from Hull, based in Scunthorpe. I'm currently on my acute medicine rotation.
Brilliant. And the reason we're chatting is because Jenny and Greg have just had a chat about sort of public policy and what that looks like. You were doing a deeper fellowship with us last year, taking some time out alongside intercalating, and you were working with Jenny in public policy. Tell us a bit about what you did during that year.
Yeah, that's right. I was so alongside doing my master's down in London, I was also doing a deeper fellowship for 1 day a week, and that would involve looking at different things going on in the world regarding ethics and advocacy. And so we started off looking at the assisted suicide bill in Scotland and looking at which members of the Scottish Parliament would be leaning which way or the other in terms of for or against assisted suicide, and then potentially lobbying or writing letters to them to try and sway or convince them to either way.
Yeah. Fantastic. And what was it like for you coming in, having not perhaps seen a lot of what CMF does in this area? What was it like for you to have a bit of an eye-opener?
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. I'd only really had any real interaction with CMF, just going along to my local CMF meetings, and we talked about the big Christian ethical topics, but there'd never been that sort of proactive step of what can we actually do about this. It was more just about what do Christians think about this. And so going into CMF, going into the office, meeting all these different people who work in different, who have different skills and work in different roles, but they all have this aim of wanting to promote godly and biblical values. And so just going in and seeing actually active participation and speaking to politicians and just really trying to get the right thing done in lots of different places. It was just really inspiring.
Yeah, brilliant. And now you're back up in sort of East Yorkshire. That's obviously base for you. Going back, and obviously you're finishing off in finals and so on, it's a busy time for you, but how does your experience on Deeper impact the way you see CMF locally? And I'm not going to put you particularly on the spot personally about your involvement right now, but what does it mean for you as you've gone back to just, living a ordinary life, in a part of the UK?
I think one of the biggest things is that feeling that you're not alone. Just that feeling that you go, I went to the CMF offices and met with people who've come from all over the country to do this deeper fellowship. And then you go home, and before I came, it was often just thinking, oh, is this just something we do in our local area because we've got some keen Christian doctors? But no, it's not. This happens in Hull, this happens in Leeds, this happens in Manchester, London, and multiple different cities. And just really having that kind of interconnected feeling of what's going on, and knowing that there are people wherever you go to study medicine or wherever you go to practice medicine, with people who are passionate about medicine and passionate about Jesus. So it was really, really helpful to just, and also being supported by the CMF organization down in the offices. They would be able to just, if you needed something or you needed some advice or we're not quite sure what resources to use, just get pointed in that direction. It was really helpful.
Fantastic. And you were doing the deeper fellowship with 11 others, weren't you?
Yeah, 12.
So they were one of the 12. That's right. They were like intercalating students. There were some foundation year doctors, and I think nearly 60 people have done deeper now over the last few years, which is great. And if you look at all of our tracks, and I'm not just speaking to you here, Alex, speaking to everybody really, but all our tracks, global track and health and justice, evangelism and apologetics track, speakers track, we've had nearly 200 people who have gone through those. So I think it's really great to speak to you, because actually we've got so many have come and done a track with CMF, but then are back, like me, I'm in Luton, sort of living our normal lives in the places where we live and work. I guess the question for you is, as we sort of close, is what, taking back what you've learned, what you've seen can happen, and the story you've heard from other people, what would you love to CMF to look like in East Yorkshire? I mean, obviously there's some great meetups already. What would you like to see develop going forwards, do you think, in the next, say, 5 years?
I think the things that I would really love to see is growth in new student, reaching new students. Obviously, the last couple of years has been really difficult reaching new medical students. Some of them have just been studying from home, and there's not been that ability to get face to face with the new students. So that would be one thing. And then secondly, there would maybe an integration between Christian doctors and students. So there is this relationship between those people who are coming up through into clinical work and those people who might just have a bit more experience. And then also just having perhaps a little bit more structure into what we're doing throughout the year. That would be how I'd love to see CMF grow in the next few years.
Fantastic. Alex, look, we'll stop there. We could chat for ages, but I really appreciate that. And yeah, just looking forward to seeing what God does in and through you and in and through the work of CMF up in East Yorkshire. So God bless you. And thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, John.
Cheers. Bye.